What attracts you to Chicano art?
Oh, Chicano art. I'm a big collector of Chicano art, and what attracted me to it was great art. You know,
But what elements of it? Because there's all types of art.
Yeah.
It's art that a lot of people in New York, across the nation, don't know. It's becoming more popular because of you and others. But it's great art. What's attractive to you?
For me, what was attractive is they were great painters. The art of painting, real simple, primitive art. Inspiration out through your heart and soul, through your arm and onto a hair on a stick. I mean, it's the most primitive form of communication in the plastic arts. And I studied art from a very early age. I was like 11 or 12 when I had this group of cousins. They were really smart little Chicano working class kids, but we were kind of academics, and so we used to assign each other little areas of study, and you have to bring it back to the group and teach the group about it. One was history, or one was music, and okay, you go learn about art and bring everything back. So I used to go to the library and check out all the art books and go, okay, that's Picasso, that's Miro, that's Cezanne, okay, that's Rembrandt, and I would bring it back to the group. So by the time I was 13, 14, I had a really pretty good classical art education, an eye anyways, I understand. And I started going to museums, and that was the sine qua non. And you could see books and paintings and representations and reproductions, but until you go and see them in person, you don't really get it, because they become alive, and there's their texture, and they're usually much bigger than you see them in a book, or even much smaller, like Vermeer's, and you're just shocked. But I had that experience early. So the gap in my education was contemporary art. I mean, I kind of knew names, but I didn't really know. And so I started going to galleries on the west side. It was a perfect storm. I knew what the art was, I knew what art was, and I had money, because I was for Cheech and Chong, and I had a notoriety that I could promote it. And I saw these Chicano painters, and I said, these guys are good. I mean, they could really put the paint on. He was like, I describe it as like being akin to like discovering the Beatles, or hearing the Beatles for the first time. You knew what they were playing, you knew what it was based on. It was based on Chuck Berry and R&B and all these other kind of things, and you heard it, but you heard their interpretation of it and made it different, but it was familiar and distinct at the same time. And that's what the Chicano painters were for me, because they were all university and or art school trained. So they were influenced by world art as well as Mexican and art, and they would put those things together in a very international kind of package, And they were, I saw early that they weren't getting any shelf space,